My name's Jess Seymour, and today I'll be analysing the Mitsubishi Mirage 2013 car campaign.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Mirage. With all the fun and style of the original, but this time, thanks to intelligent design, it's got even greater fuel efficiency. Plus, enough room inside to fit 4 of your friends. The all-new Mitsubishi Mirage is back. And it's better than ever. Love that car.
The product advertised in this campaign is the Mitsubishi Mirage hatchback, which falls into the small car category. The current market leader of the small car category is the Toyota Corolla, with the highest sale of small cars for 2011 and 2012. The Mirage is set apart from its competitors because it's the fun and feminine car. While other small cars focus on things like spaciousness, ease of city driving, and abundance of features, safety, and luxuriousness as their unique selling points, the Mirage focuses more on the personality of the car. The Mirage is clearly targeted at young females aged between 16 to 25. The product itself is appealing to this demographic for a number of reasons. Firstly, the car is cheaply priced at around $12,000, which would certainly appeal to the target market, as they're one of the lowest income earning demographics in Australia. Buying a cheaper car also means more money in their back pocket for things that Generation Y have a high expenditure on, such as concerts and eating out. Secondly, the visually appealing design is an attractive feature, as aesthetic value is something that young females typically place a lot of importance on. Thirdly, the small design of the car means that it's easy to drive and maneuver, something that younger drivers seem to prefer. Most women in this demographic will either be still learning to drive, have just been issued with their provisional license, or have only had their license a few years, meaning that their experience is low and they'd feel a lot more comfortable driving an easier to handle car. When choosing the right appeal for this campaign, 2 important factors need to be considered. Firstly, what the target audience will respond to, and secondly, the way to communicate information about this type of purchase. Studies show that women are more responsive to advertising that they can picture themselves in. This can either be depictions of their current lifestyle or the lifestyle they want to lead. Most of the time, because people making a purchase want to change something, a good advertisement will depict the life that they want to lead. Because purchasing a car is a big decision for most people due to the enormous cost involved, they want to know as much about the car as possible before they actually buy it, mostly to minimise the risk of purchasing something that ends up being a waste of money. This means that the advertising appeal needs to use the central route method to communicate information in accordance with the elaboration likelihood model. Taking these 2 important factors into account means that the right appeal will need to be both informational, appealing to the customer's rational side, and transformable, appealing to the customer's emotional side. This will enable them to get the information that they need in a way that they'll be able to relate to. The consumer insight here is that young girls want to lead social, fun-filled lives. The product needs to integrate itself into this insight and depict, through advertising, how the Mitsubishi Mirage can be the perfect accessory to, or even help achieve this lifestyle. Mitsubishi aren't typically seen as a small car brand. Their other current small car, the Colt, didn't even rank in the top 10 small cars sold last year. What Mitsubishi are known for, though, is good, reliable, well-made cars, with the well-renowned car review show Top Gear even quoting Mitsubishi as manufacturing intriguing stuff and always being properly built. With their brand logo Love That Car, and with their small but well-known range of diverse vehicles, all the way from work utes to hybrid electronic cars, it's clear that Mitsubishi are positioned as a reliable brand whose cars each possess an individual personality reflected by the owner. Although the revived edition of the Mirage is a new entrant into the current small car market, much like Mitsubishi's other models, the Mirage has its own personality. For example, the Triton Ute takes on the personality of a tough, hard-working, manly vehicle, much like the tradesman it's targeted at. The Pajero takes on the personality of a safe, child-friendly, spacious vehicle, which appeals greatly to the family market it's targeted at. The Mirage is small, easy to handle, has room for friends, and is cheap to buy and run. All features that are appealing to the young female singles that it's targeted at. The market has clearly been segmented both demographically and psychographically to young females with a fun-filled lifestyle and an outgoing sociable personality. The images used in the ads show only young women, indicating the demographic. Secondly, the images show these girls engaging in fun-filled social activities like shopping, sharing a laugh at a coffee store, enjoying an outdoor music festival, and lounging in the sun. The music also lends itself to the demographic and psychographic, with its poppy, catchy, dancey tune that could easily be played in a closed store, high-end bar or coffee shop, all regular hangouts for young women. Also, the colour used in the ad is pink, which is usually associated with femininity, youth, and all things girly. The colour is shown in splashes throughout the imagery and the colouring of the vehicle itself, further confirming the market segmentation here. The consumer insight here is that through a social and fun-filled lifestyle, the consumer will spend a large amount of time with or in their car. So much so that the car will become an extension of the consumer themselves, much like a friend or even a place that they associate with often. This means that the consumers are looking for a car that matches them, a car that can be associated with their lifestyle and their personality. The big idea in this ad campaign is that the Mitsubishi Mirage matches a girl's personality and becomes a lifestyle accessory. Mitsubishi are treating the Mirage as more than just a product, but rather as a part of a particular lifestyle. Upon discussion with members of the target audience, it was found that in big purchases like a car, house, or expensive electronics, young women want to see a piece of their way of life reflected in these purchases, in the same way that a businessman might want his job reflected, or a mother might want her family reflected. To communicate the big idea, the advertising strategy must utilise the push-pull method. It must push ideas relevant to young women, which the advertisement clearly demonstrates that it has. It should utilise various means of communication with the consumer to get the message across in as many ways possible so that the consumer can pull information from wherever they choose. This is especially important because the target market here is identified as Gen Y, a generation characteristically well adapted to technology and social media who rarely watch television. This means that pushing the communication through as many different social media and internet sites as possible is critical to the effectiveness of this campaign. When looking at the advertising objectives here, the fact that the Mitsubishi Mirage is a new entrant into the current market needs to be taken into account. It's not a new model, but the Mirage has been off the market since around 2002. This means that the target audience has changed dramatically, and the campaign needs to start again from the bottom, as the majority of the target market wouldn't even be aware of the Mirage's existence now. If we look at the communication effects pyramid here, it shows that the base of the objectives, which need to be considered as Mitsubishi is starting from the bottom, is to create awareness about the product. Therefore, Mitsubishi should be aiming to create awareness amongst 90% of the target audience, which they can do by using repetitive advertising broadcast across a wide range of mediums like social media and internet sites. The next few objectives should then be aiming to inform a further 70% of the target audience, which can be done by putting information about the product into the advertising. Then to create positive perceptions of the product amongst 40% of the target audience, and then to ensure that 25% of the target market prefer the Mitsubishi Mirage over other small cars. The advertising should then direct the consumers towards the website where they can book a test drive to enable 20% of the target audience to trial the product. And finally, through all of these factors combined, plus the occasional deal or sale here and there to encourage purchases, encourage at least 5% of the target market to actually buy the car. If these objectives are achieved, it can then be proven that the campaign was successful. To ensure this success, our objectives can be measured in a number of ways. Firstly, sales reports will advise if the purchase objective has been achieved. Secondly, dealerships should record the number of people who have test-driven the car so that the trial objective can be measured. Thirdly, the preference, knowledge and liking objectives can all be achieved through consulting focus groups and by setting up social media pages for people to leave feedback about, then checking these pages for feedback. Lastly, awareness is easily measured by utilising focus groups or monitoring the interactive advertising. This means checking the YouTube views of the ad, checking visits of the Mirage page of the Mitsubishi website, and also checking Facebook likes and Instagram hashtags about the car. With regards to the creative strategy, there are two main techniques utilised here, the slice of life technique and the straight sell technique. The slice of life technique is apparent in the montage of videos portraying young women engaging in typical, fun, girly activities, just like shopping, hanging by the pool, and having a laugh over a coffee with a friend. This technique was used because research shows that women are more responsive to advertising depicting situations that they can visualise themselves in. Furthermore, young women typically draw inspiration from other young women, be they realistic or fictional. This means that showing them a video representation of happy young women engaging in fun activities will mean that they'll associate the product with their ability to participate in activities like this. The second approach used, the straight sell, is used to convey information about the product. The advertisement communicates features like fuel efficiency, spaciousness, and a low price, all of which are important factors to consider when purchasing a car. Because a car is a big purchase decision for anyone, let alone low-income earners like the target demographic here, information pertaining to that decision needs to be communicated in the advertising. This is so that the consumer knows that they're purchasing a product that will do all the things that they need a car to do, and not just because it looks good. Because a car is a high-involvement product, the communication of features like this are essential, as an emotional appeal alone isn't enough to make a consumer go out and purchase something so extravagant. The positioning strategy is used to position the consumer to feel a certain way about the product. The consumer is positioned to feel that the Mitsubishi Mirage is a fun, feminine car for youthful females leading a socially active life. The positioning is achieved through the use of youthful poppy music, the colour pink, which is typically associated with youth and femininity, and the images of young girls having fun and leading social lives. Positioning is proven to be effective because many of the top brands in various product and service categories have retained their market leadership because they've established and maintained a strong position or identity in the minds of consumers. The approach taps into a few key consumer insights. Firstly, the fact that there's a social need for the target audience to fit in amongst social groups, which is the reason for young females engaging in social activities. The importance of this is highlighted in Maslow's hierarchy of needs in the social needs section. Secondly, there's a self-esteem need for young women to feel approval and admiration from their peers about the things they buy. The effectiveness of tapping into this insight is effective as it falls into the esteem needs category of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The campaign tone portrays a car that will enable the target audience to live the ideal lifestyle: fun, stylish, and social. Because Mitsubishi bears the slogan "Love That Car," which indicates that the cars are specifically designed for a particular audience, the campaign tone is congruent with Mitsubishi's personality. Although the campaign is effective in acutely targeting the specific audience, there is some room for improvement. The first recommendation would be that the car needs to be incorporated into the advertisement more. It's portrayed as a lifestyle accessory, and in the ad, the car is portrayed alongside people living their desired lifestyle rather than being part of the action. The advertisement could easily do this by showing the girl at the start, walking down the steps, actually getting into the car at the end of her walk, having the girl by the pool actually pulling up to the pool in her Mirage, and having the girls who are shopping actually putting their shopping bags in the boot of the car. This would be effective because, as previously mentioned, young women respond better to advertising that they can picture themselves in, and if the car is integrated more into these scenarios, the message will be clearer. The media strategy Mitsubishi have used here isn't really effective because Mitsubishi's broadcasting of the ad has been relatively low. The ad is only being currently shown in primetime TV, YouTube, on their website, and in some Facebook campaigns. For the advertisement to go further and achieve the advertising objectives faster and on a broader scale, Mitsubishi should utilise mediums specific to the target audience. Firstly, they should have used advertising in TV shows targeted at young women specifically, like Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars, and Home and Away. Secondly, they should use print advertisements in magazines targeted at young women, like Girlfriend or Dolly, whose demographics span from women aged 16 to 23 and has the highest sales from the target demographic. Thirdly, advertisements should also be used in online shopping websites such as The Iconic and ASOS, who had the highest Gen Y shopping trends of last year and is one of the largest online fashion sites in the world.